अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्परमगुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः श्री लक्ष्मी नृसिंह परब्रह्मणे नमः श्री लक्ष्मी हयवदन परब्रह्मणे नमः. So now I'll be starting the Isavasya Upanishad. Let me give a small introduction here. Okay. So we will be starting the second verse of the Upanishad.
Okay.
First we have to give a small introduction of connection between the first verse and the second verse. So let me share the screen again. Okay. There are some meanings we have to be clear about. Last time we did not stress on this meaning, so I thought I would just stress on these meanings.
Okay.
Some people may say, Isavasya idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. If just people say this verse, how do you know the words exactly mean what you understand out of it? Right? There may be a question like that because Sanskrit has to be understood properly.
Right.
Here, Isavasyam means the Isha there word is a Tritiya Vibhakti, accusative case. That is by Isha. By Isha, then what happens? You can make it as Vasyam. Vasyam means what? The vas dhatu or the verb root vas could mean achadane. Achadane means to wear, like how you wear a cloth, you envelop or wear a cloth, right?
Achadane,
that is to cover up. And vas also has upaveshane, that is to sit. So there are two meanings of vas. If you combine this meaning, how would you want to make the meaning out of it? Isha means by Isha, Vasyam. That is, this universe deserves to be, is fit to be worn as a cloth by Isha in any fashion he wants to. That means a cloth does not make rules. Cloth does not say, okay, wear me in this fashion. No.
So, line I will try to connect it. The PC is coming up. I'm trying to connect it using the. If you don't mind, just only one.
No problem. It is not an issue.
Like, say some it is saying some installation of some plugin or something like that. You continue. I don't want to discuss it. It's going. Crucial stage line so I don't want to.
No problem. Okay. Shall I continue then?
We install plugin. You continue because it is asking me to install some plugin.
Okay, I'll continue anyway. Don't worry.
Sure.
So the thing is, you can listen, right? You can hear. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I can hear. Yes.
Okay. Since the term vasa achadane means wear, vasa upaveshane means to sit. So in essence, it means universe is dependent and it is supported by the Lord. And it is fit to be supported by the Lord. Universe, as we see it, right? We just see it as, we are born and we see that it acts like, it acts like it acts. That means, you work in the universe, you look around, you see things, you act, you enjoy, you experience. Right. You see that universe is observed. You observe the universe. At the same time, eventually you will know that, I seem to be separate from the universe. I'm a different person. I'm the observer and that is observed.
Correct.
So initially you only look at it in this way. But what this verse is telling you or telling us is that this world did not come by itself. It is not for any other purpose but to serve the Lord. That is, the purpose of the universe is to serve the Lord's will and wishes. Because he can fashion it in a way he wants to. This is not visible to us. We will come to this point again. We want to, we will explain this issue in much more detail in a few minutes.
Okay.
Ishena avasyam. Ishena we should not say, right? Because Ishena can be said, but that Sanskrit has its issues. Ishena avasyam Ishvara paratantram ityartaha. That means this universe is subordinate to the Lord. It's not independent. You can also break it as Isha avasyam. That means it is fit to be pervaded by the Lord. Avasyam means to sit down. That means somebody is like how we say Grihe Ramaha Vasati. That means Rama lives in the home.
Right.
Similarly, Ishaha Jagati Vasati. He lives in the universe. So this universe is fit to be pervaded by the Lord.
Vasati அப்படின்னா
Vasati means lives.
Lives, right? So, but usually when we say Trikarana மூணு விதமான காரணங்கள் இந்த உலகத்துல இருக்குன்னு சொல்லும்போது நம்ம வந்து we say திரிவித காரண சேதரகிதன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா. God is actually he is the creator and he is part of that அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா. அதாவது நிமித்த காரணம் சககாரி காரணம்
உபாதான காரணம் சககாரி காரணம் அப்படின்னு மூணு காரணம் இல்லையா.
சொல்லும்போது God is the one who creates, at the same time he is also this world அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா. எப்படி ஆழ்வார் வந்து கடல் ஞானம் செய்தேனும் யானை என்னும் கடல் ஞானம் ஆவேனும் யானை என்னும் says. What he's saying is கடல் ஞானம் செய்தேனும் யானை என்னும், I am the one who has created this world. Then immediately he corrects himself, கடல் ஞானம் ஆவேனும் யானை என்னும், this whole world is me. Actually I am the one who is pervading here throughout அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம். இந்த இடத்துல வசத்தின்னு when we say vasati here, how does it reconcile? When we say vasati, that means there is a person who has to stay in a place. Then does it not become that the person and the place where he is staying are two different entities?
That is true. The thing is, good question, very good question. This will be explained in detail later.
Okay.
But the thing is, in summary, I can explain to you what it means.
Okay.
This verse of the Isavasya Upanishad is only designed to tell you about the difference of the Ishvara, Jiva and Jada.
Okay.
So it basically tells you the difference between Bhokta, Bhogyam, Preritara. What does it mean? Bhokta is the enjoyer, that is the soul, individual soul. Bhogyam is the one which is enjoyed, that is the universe or the matter. Preritara is the impeller, the controller, who is the Lord. See, in this verse, there are several meanings which is hidden here. Isha Vasyam, Abdina, by Ishvara, this universe can be worn like a cloth. By Ishvara, this universe is ensouled or it is pervaded. Vasa upaveshana is to sit, that means to pervade.
Yeah.
So Ishvara pervades the universe, and the universe is dependent. The universe of souls and matter is dependent on the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So we did not create this universe, nor does the universe exist to just to serve as a support for our will and fancy and fun. So it is his creation. It is for himself that this exists. Tena, is this clear?
Yes, very clear.
What you are saying as Kadal Jnanam Jnanayave, he becomes the universe. That will come later. Isavasya Upanishad does not deal with that aspect of it right away. It talks about it in later verses.
Okay.
Okay. Here, Okay, let me give you a little, very good question, very, very good question. The reason is, think about how a human being perceives life. He is born, he starts playing around, he just wants food, water, shelter, that's it initially.
Okay.
And he slowly realizes that, oh, I have to work for a living. And finally he lives, he only thinks that, well, I can't be selfish. I have to help other people out because there's a family around me. And then he thinks that there's a community, there's a country around me, and there's the whole universe, and then I have to be helpful for other people. Otherwise, it will be tough, right?
Okay.
So he understands that he has to have a community living. So his selfishness waters down as his knowledge increases about life. Eventually, what happens? He understands that the devatas, devas, and everybody is there in the universe, and because of that, he has to be nice to all of them because they are providing him. What are they providing him? Without his knowledge, everyone is being provided by something by the devatas. What are those?
All the five matters is the one. See, devatas give. Devatas are considered to be our five of our things, like earth, water, ether, and all this is provided by devas. And also even our indriyas are being supported by our devatas.
Correct.
For each and every indriya, there is one devata, adi devata is there. For every indriya. For chakshus, there is an indriya, there is a devata. For shrotra, there is an indriya.
Correct. Mai medham, mai prajam, mai indriyam.
Correct.
So the thing is, the devatas are verily within your body. They're right there, sitting right there inside.
Correct.
They're making your eyes act. Eyes perceive the objects. The mind work. All the senses operate. So the thing is, this universe is a give and take situation here. That means it is a life of community living. Your symbiosis, you support something, you help something, and they support you. Hence, then what happens? Nitya Naimittika karmas becomes necessary for a person who understands the universal truth of so many beings and devatas who are operating together in this universe. Is this clear?
Very, very, very clear, Swami.
Okay. Tena tyaktena bhunjitaha. There, I just wanted to mention, last time I did not mention, phala sangha kartrityaga. Tyaktena bhunjitaha means what? You are giving up the fruits of action. Whenever you experience this world, bhunjita means enjoy this world for sure. Yes. How do you enjoy it? When you act in this universe, leave the fruits of action, leave the association with action. That is because you are not the creator of the actions. The actions were ordained by the Creator Lord.
Correct.
And the doership of the action. That means, oh, you are the doer. For you, the whatever the act, the fruits are, it's for you. Leave that. He has given you. It's a borrowed doership. You are a karta, because the Shastra says karta shastrartha vatvat. That means because that Shastras were written for an individual, he has to be a karta. That means he has to be a doer. But while you are a doer, pradhana karta, or the main doer, you want to give it to God. That means he is the main doer. You are the supported doer.
There was one earlier, and see, நம்ம இந்திரியங்கள்ல தான், see, let me say in English so that since Laura may be saying it later, watching it later.
Sure.
See, in Medha Suktam, it clearly talks about it. Medham Indro dadatu medham devi saraswati medham me asvina vubhav dattam pushkarasraja mayi medham mayi prajam mayagnistejo dadadu mayi medham mayi prajam mayindra indriyan dadadu mayi medham mayi prajam mayi surjo brajo dadadu. These words, as you very clearly. I mean, this is what I also heard it from one of the Advaita teachers.
Correct.
And the body, the entire body, all the devatas are inside our five sensory objects. They are the ones who basically control this. It is now given in 15th chapter. Krishna is saying, I am the one who controls even your smriti. Matta smriti jnanam apoganancha. Vedescha sarvaihi ahameva vedya. When he says that, what he's saying is through these devatas, he is the one who actually controls not just the entire universe, also he controls us.
Correct. That's
So,
true.
it's very, very. It's I'm able to reconcile that when we say this entire jagat is actually being controlled by him in the
Correct.
first verse of Isavasya Upanishad.
Mhm. Very good. So I am just building the case here, like how this Upanishad, just coming back to your question, this Upanishad starts with the idea that human beings think that this universe, they are there and the universe is there. They are still doubtful about who put them together, who put these people together, is the matter and souls together. They're not, because they don't even see themselves properly, right?
Right.
So, hence, they don't see the inner Lord, the indwelling Lord, till they become ready for that. So let me build a case here, because it's very interesting and important that the 18 mantras of the Upanishads, Isavasya Upanishad, reflect the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita in a way. So this 18 mantras basically succinctly carry the meaning of the entire Vedanta.
Okay.
And why is that? And how do you build the relationship? That it's a tough thing to do, and our acharyas have done that. And Vedanta Deshika has explained this in one, and later acharyas, number of them actually, have explained it in even further detail. Now let us take this. So the rationalist knows cells are observers and matters undergoes evolution because he looks at it. He realizes that. He does not know the nature of self. And if he does not know the nature of self, what tools does he have to understand the universe? Mainly indriyas, that is the senses, and logic, rational thinking, that is induction, deduction. So these are the only tools he has. Any person, he or she, anyone has only those tools. Then how would that person go to the next level to even understand the nature of self? The nature of the self, I will simply mention this here, but eventually we can go much detail to let you to understand how did how does a person get to know the self to start with? If you go back, I mentioned this, the second chapter, 51st shloka here, which says, Shrutiva pratipannate yada sthasyati nischala samadhau achala buddhihi tada yogam avapsyasi.
See. So I mean, what I think my system starts.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, wonderful, Somen. Now I'm able to see a bigger screen.
Excellent.
Thank
Nice,
you.
it worked out. So, can I continue?
Yes, please.
Yeah, the second chapter clearly says, Shruti Pratipannate. In fact, if you look at the second chapter, this is just, I'm indicating here, but eventually I will go much detail into it later, not now. Traigunya Vishya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvandva Nityasatvastaha Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. That is where the second chapter, 45th shloka. From there to the shloka Shruti Pratipannate, they are very important. How is it? Why is it important? I'll give you a summary now. Summary is, an ordinary person would know at least the Vedas are there. And out of the Vedas, he can only pick up some parts of the Vedas which matter to that person.
Right.
And then he has to make sure that in this universe, what happens, eventually he knows the relationship with matter gives him ups and downs, dvandvas, that is sadness, happiness, hot and cold treatment. Constantly he goes through these ups and downs. But he has to face it by nitya sattvastha, by becoming sattvic, by becoming intelligent, by becoming knowledge oriented. Niryogakshema atmavan. Don't be always intent on getting more money or getting more matter and making sure that the matter exists for you, making sure that it doesn't go away from you. Yogakshema. If you forget that Yogakshema, you will become atmavan. Otherwise, you will be completely involved in this world. If you only are focusing on how to get more stuff for myself, material acquisitions, and how to make sure these material acquisitions don't vaporize away someday and go away from you. If you only focus on these things, a person cannot become Atmavan. The person doesn't know he is a self, he is a spiritual entity and not a material entity. So for a person who is only interested in matter,
would you mind again repeating the exact meaning of this verse? Shruti pradipannate yathastasya nischala.
Okay, why don't you give me just few minutes so that I will come to the shloka. I'm building the case from a prior shloka. The prior shloka is 2nd chapter 45. See, this one is 2nd chapter 53. Okay, so from 45 to 53, I'm building the case quickly.
Sure, sir.
Without going into every verse.
Right.
I will come to this because this can be understood only when you understand the prior shlokas a little bit. Because Bhagavad Gita is like a link, the chain link. If you leave the one link, the rest of the shlokas don't make that much sense. That's why.
Right.
So, from the Vedas, you have to once you control your mind and don't get associated with material issues so much that you go through the highs and lows. If you go away from life, don't get attached to actions too much. The attachment will create ups and downs in life. Once your attachment goes away, you will become Atmavan. You will slowly realize that, oh, I am a conscious entity. I'm not just somebody's son or somebody's father or somebody's husband or anything like that. I am a conscious spiritual entity. You start understanding that. And when you work on it, karmanyeva adhikaraste, that means you work without any interest in fruits of action, but you work without the fruits of action. If you do that, without attachment to fruits or attachment to the action or attachment to attachment that you are the doer of the actions. If you know these three and if you follow these three aspects, you will become siddha siddhyoho samabhutva. You will know how to face ups and downs, and you will get equanimity of mind. Whatever happens in the world, you will not bother. You will have equanimity.
Correct.
Hence, this becomes Buddhi Yoga. And Buddhi Yoga is very important. It is much better than ordinary action. Without the ordinary action is usually people act, why should I do any work if I don't have any value out of it? In Hindi movies, you hear this term, kya faida? What do I get out of it? So what the thing is, only when you do actions, that too Veda Vihita karmas, without expecting any fruit of it, then you will become, that is Buddhi Yoga. And the other actions is Durena Hyavaram Karma. Ordinary action is very, very alpa, very, very small and worthless compared to that action which is done without any association or ownership or without any desire for the fruits. So that buddhi, once that person becomes intelligent and he leaves Sukrita Dushkrita, the sins and the holy merits. If he leaves, then that action becomes an efficient action, which is yoga, karma yoga. Once the person continues with the karma yoga, he will become janma bandha vinirmuktaha. That means that person will not be controlled by the cycle of births and deaths. Once you know that this quagmire of delusion, of this attachment to everything, once that delusion goes away, the mind becomes pure. And in fact, once you know that the pure mind is so enjoyable, you will know that, oh my God, so long I have lived, so many janmas I have lived. Why did I go after the fruits of action? Why did I do that? I'm enjoying so much knowing that beyond these fruits of action, the self is so enjoyable. So slowly that person gets the knowledge of the self, actual feeling of the self, not studying about it, experiencing the self. Now I come to Shruti Vipratipannate. Shruti Vipratipannate means after studying the Shrutis of the Vedas, Vipratipanna, understanding it very well, not just repeating the shlokas one after the other. Vipratipanna, with great thinking, analysis, contemplation, understand the real meaning of the Shrutis. Te yada sthasyati nischala. Understanding means it has to become in a conviction. It's not just understanding, but it should be a conviction. What I mean by conviction is, I'll just give you a simple example. We touch a lighted candle, suddenly we pull our fingers out and say, oh my God, it hurts, it burns. Similarly, will we go away and say, if I lie, I will get sins, so I should never lie? Knowing this very well, do we really stop lying completely? If there is a bad situation, to get out of the bad situation, we'll somehow slightly, put some white lies here and there and walk away.
Okay.
The thing is, the conviction has to be beyond doubt. That is tasyati nischala. Then your mind becomes very calm. Samadho achala buddhihi. Samadho here means manasi. That means inside the mind. The buddhi is thira. That means it is not going here and there. It is very, very constant. Where will it stay? Tada yogam avapsyasi. It should not be avapsyati. It should be avapsyasi. There's a mistake here. Yeah. Tada yogam avapsyasi means that person gets the first sight of Atman. Yoga means, the Acharya say that yoga means Atma Avalokana. That means he sees his own self. He realizes and feels. He doesn't realize yet, but he just sees. He gets a sight of his own self in purity. Till then, the person doesn't even understand who he is. He is now mixed up with the worldly acquisitions and protecting those acquisitions. But now, if he follows these these methodology of life in terms of nitya naimittika karma and also the mind framework while doing the karma, then he will start actually experiencing and finding who the self is. Then again comes the problem. He knows that, oh, I am here and the matter is here. We don't know how I landed here. How did I land? So if we don't know how we landed here, what is the universal force which put us together? Then gets the first idea for him as Brahma Jignasa. That means he will become keenly interested in Brahman. That means he will go find a suitable guru who is a Brahmavit and falls at the feet of Brahmavit and say, I can't live without Brahman. It's not a casual study like, oh, I will take course in biology, I will take course in history or something like that, Oh, I don't know, I may miss a couple of classes, maybe miss a couple of years. Not like that. This person cannot live without Brahmajnana. He will go and fall at the feet of a guru who is a Brahmavit and then tries to understand Brahmajnana. Why are we saying this? This Upanishad is Shishyam Prati Guroho Brahma Vidya Anushasanam. This Isavasya Upanishad is Brahma Vidya Anushasanam. Such a student who is clearly, what do you call, clearly interested, and he cannot live without this knowledge. He comes and sees a guru and then learns about this. This is the situation here. So rational knowledge is not sufficient. It has to become conviction for this person that without this, I will not go further. So the duties prescribed in the Vedas are actually planned by the universal Lord to bring universal harmony, connection to everyone, including the Devas. And it should be construed as injunctions by that Lord, who is the synthesizing entity who puts everybody together. And it makes an individual more moral by doing these kind of duties. Is it clear?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Now, in this verse, I might have mentioned it. I want to put a few ideas because only when you understand these, this background, we can go back to Shankara Bhashya and figure out why there is a difference in Shankara Bhashya. What was the situation? At the end of the day, it's not much of a difference, but we will understand it better.
Okay.
The first verse has all the three issues. See, for something to become Brahma Vidya, it has to explain three things. Tattva, Hita, Purushartha. Tattva is the truth or the origin. Hita means how to get to the goal. Purushartha is the goal. So here Brahman or the Ishvara is Tattva, Hita, Purushartha. He is the Tattva, he is the Hita, he is the Purushartha. Because this whole universe is dependent on him. And what can be more greater than the supporter of everything? The true goal should be the Lord. It is an indication here, not that the first verse completely explains Tattva, Hita, Purushartha in a very vivid manner, but the seeds of the explanation, the summary is already contained in a capsule here in the very first verse. This Upanishad is not really for the monks and anchorites who are sitting in the forest and who meditate, who are known as the Vanaprasthas or sannyasis. This is for everyone because you see very clearly, we initially come to this world, we are born here, we understand actions with fruits. We only understand that actions have to be connected with fruits, otherwise we don't want to work. Slowly the mental culture improves, and once our knowledge becomes better about the universe, we'll become less selfish. Once you become less selfish, you will even understand the karmas given in the Vedas, and you perform those karmas in a correct way. In fact, the yajna yagadi people, right? That is people who do yajnas and all those things. If you remember right, let me pull that here. There are there are like 4 people required for a yajna: hot, udghata, hota, right? Advaryu.
Yeah.
So the thing is, let me. Oh, I got it here. What it says is, the Chandogya Upanishad clearly says in the first chapter, there are 4 superintendents in the Vedic ritual, and they are the Advaryu, Hota, Udghata, Brahma. Among these, Hota and Udghata should be specialists in Adhyatma Yoga. So many people think that a ritualistic person, he just pours he's a waste, he's a person who does waste. He brings, he goes, begs for money, picks up this ghee from the stores, and he puts a fire, and on the fire he just keep on muttering some mantras and pouring some ghee into it. So he is a nth-rate person who wastes his life away for the purpose of attaining some swarga or something, and such a person should be taken as a second-rate individual. That kind of activity was prescribed in the Shastras for the lower level intellectual person. This is the view of several people. We have to understand the true view of the Shastras. Here, what he says here is, Hota should know the Adhyatma Yoga. He should be so, and this is considered necessary for the successful culmination of the ritual, as they should possess the mystic power of successful blessing. When a person conducts a yajna, that person's mind should be in such a mature situation. If he blesses, whatever he blesses will work. Should just happen.
Right.
In the Chandogya Upanishad, Udgita Vidya explains this. So, the Brahmana portion of the Vedas, which explain the mantras, Brahmana Bhaga, is not to be considered as a lower level and not to be considered as something separate from the whole Vedas, which consists of both Brahmana Bhaga and also Jnana Kanda. The Jnana Kanda is the Upanishads, no wonder, no doubt about it. But there is a transition from the mantras and the ritualistic portions to the Jnana Kanda. It is a one Shastra which is Veda. Vedanta is one. So just wanted to mention that. So a student who performs this Vedic rites understands now he is in search of Brahma Vidya, because he is missing the synthesizing principle, which is Brahman, which puts all together, which makes sense out of this whole universal life. And he is that Ishvara. Now, we will just have a simple overview of the second verse. I hope this connection information is very important to connect these two verses. Otherwise, why is this? In the other bhashyas, they think that the first verse, Isavasya midam sarvam, yatkincha jagatyam jagataya tyaktera bhunjitaha maghrata kasya dhanam. This one refers to the Atmajnani or the Vidwan, and the second verse refers to a different person who is interested in only performing works, who is of the lower intelligence. We have to understand what is this lower intelligence, what is the high intelligence, and why there is a difference. We'll come to that later, but let us go through the simple meaning of this verse. Kurvanneva hi karmani jijivishet shatam samaha evam tvai nanyathe tosti na karma lipyate nare. What it means, simple meaning is, one should desire to live 100 years just performing works. These are the Veda Vihita karmas, and also supported karmas, or whatever you can go earn and everything like that. All these things are subservient to the Veda Vihita karmas. For the aspirant like you, that is like a student, for the student, such a student, there is no other way left. You cannot remain without performing these actions. These actions, don't worry about it, they will not taint an exalted person. And who is such an exalted person? We will come to the details later. So we'll go back and explain the word meaning here. Iha means here. See this, I have not printed this particular verse properly here. Karmani, it should be karmani. Kurvannevahi karmani. Right? Iha means Here, karmani means actions. Kuruvanneva means by doing the actions only, a person is assumed. Jijivishet, that means he should desire to live. Shatam samaha, that means 100 years. Samaha means samvatsaraha. Shatam samaha means 100 years. Evam tvayi, insofar as you are concerned, such a you, that is such an aspirant like you, there is no other way out. Nanyatetosti, na karma lipyate nare. Do not worry. In such a person who is nare means, what does nara means?
To
Nara
live.
means human being. People say just human being is nara.
Yeah.
But the real meaning is naringshate iti naraha. That means he will not get muddled up. He will not get into this quagmire of samsara and get gobbled up by the desirous actions and this illusion of matter. He will stay separate and he will stay pure and he will not get gobbled up. That means he is not happy in this world of mundane existence of matter and combinations with matter and working with matter and material happiness. He wants to find the true self, which is eternal and the inner Lord. That kind of a person is known as Nara. Naringshate iti naraha. That person who is not happy in mundane life. If you think about it, the person who is happy in mundane life is known as Asura. See, people think Asura means Rakshasa. That's what people think. The real meaning of Asura means Asushu Ramante iti Asuraha. Asushu means what? In this breath, by living in this world with this body. Asushu Ramante. They are only interested in bodily pursuits, in bodily happiness, bodily pleasures. So such people are Asuras. So Nara is that person who is not an Asura, but he wants to come out of this material existence to spiritual world. And for such a person, these actions do not bind. Here, you should remember the Bhagavad Gita shlokas, which explain Yajnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Yajnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Tadattam karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. Without association, do these actions. Whatever actions you do which are other than the yajnas, which with only material pursuits and material pleasures in mind, those actions will bind you. What does bondage mean here? One may think, oh, are there any ropes? How will I get bound? It is so powerful. Remember a simple thing. A person called Ajamila in the Bhagavata. They talk about a person called Ajamila.
Yeah.
He was studying only the Vedas. He was very well versed in the Vedas. He was an excellent student of the Vedas. One day, his parents asked him to go to the forest and pick up some munja grass or some kind of a dharba grass so that he can do Veda Vihita karmas. That means the rituals. He goes to the forest and he sees two people amorously in fun together, a man and a lady together in the forest, and his mind becomes polluted. He comes home and only thinks of such a sight, and his mind is conquered, and he stops doing his Veda Vihita karmas. He forgets his Brahmana life, he forgets his Vedas, and he becomes slowly associated with a life of just pleasure and people.
Yeah, even in Bhagavata, there is also another sloka where I forgot his name. This fellow used to go and meditate inside the water, and having seen the fish.
Correct. His name is Rishi Saubhari.
Saubhari. Yeah, Saubhari. Abhasa bandhadukku, there is a saying in Purvacharya's works. Abhasa Vritikku 50, he married 50 queen or something like that.
Yes, yes. He married 50, he had 50 wives, he had 50 kingdoms. See, his story is very different though. That's a very good story, but it has got also a different turn to it, actually.
Right.
Yeah. So here, see, in fact, some other people say the story is slightly different. What happens is, Saubari wanted to get rid of all his janmas at one time without having 50 consecutive births. He wanted to finish it off. And he knew that because of the Purva karmas, which is known as Prarabdha karma, Anabhyupagata Prarabdha, Abhyupagata Prarabdha is this life. Anabhyupagata Prarabdha means those future lives. He wanted to burn off everything in one shot. That is why he wanted 50 wives and everything, clean it up and go away.
Oh,
that is
God.
another story they say. So we don't know what is the true nature of the character of Saubari yet.
Okay.
Anyway, nakarma lipyate nare, in such a person actions do not bind. This verse, we want to take it up next time. Deep in
Why I remember that is, there is a saying, Abhasa Vritikku 50 Sariram அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவா. Like for doing something mundane, it took about 50 lives.
Correct.
On the other hand, if you look at Adisesha, right, he has only one. But what he does is Nivasa, Sayyasana, Padukam Sukha, Upadhana, Varshada, Varanadibihi. Sasarira Vedehi, Tava Seshatangadehi, Etojitam Sesha Itiride Janaihi. That's what Arvinder says. Like,
Perfect. Yes.
When he goes, Sannal Kudayam, when he goes, he acts like an umbrella. Irundal Singhasanamam. When Lord is sitting, he is the seat. Nivasa, Sayyasana, Padukam Sukha. When he goes, that is his footwear. So, with one single Sarira, Adisesha was able to do all the kinds of Kainkarya to the Bhagavan. On the other hand, Saubari, he took 50 Sariras just to enjoy stuff. It is a Nahin India Nyayam.
Definitely. Nahin Indra Nyayam. Yeah, that's a very good one. Yes, yes. So, if any other questions in this particular...
No, it's clear. Romba thanks, Swami.
Okay, we'll stop this now. Let me go see if I can stop the broadcast. Okay, stop screen sharing, stop presenting, and stop broadcast.